If you clicked on this video, you may be struggling with the fact that you've sinned or you're continuing to sin in a way that brings you that feeling of shame and guilt. And no matter how big or small it may be, you wonder if what you're doing is worthy of God's forgiveness. And I myself have lived with this for many years. I couldn't seem to get right no matter how much I tried, and I kept repeating the things that I knew would bring me shame or guilt. One of the issues is we live in this world that tells us that you get what you work for. You get out what you put in, like, for example, at work, promotions, money, respect, relationships. Everything seems to be based on a give and take. So when it comes to forgiveness, many of us think we have to do something to earn it. We think things like, I have to be better, I have to be a better person first, or let me fix my life before I go to God, before I can even think about forgiveness. But I know that this is far from the truth, and that God's forgiveness isn't something we work for, it's something we receive. How I mentioned earlier, I used to struggle with this myself. I felt like I had to prove I was worthy of forgiveness, like I had to make up for all the wrong I had done and continued to do, especially before coming to God, right? Because I felt ashamed. I believed I couldn't be forgiven until the day I rid myself of those sins that I continued to do. But the problem with that was that day for me never came. I was stuck in this cycle of guilt, trying to be good enough, but always feeling like I was falling short. And the problem with that is it kept me in a cycle where I began to spiral even more out of control, where I had lost control and I had nowhere left to turn. So I hit my rock bottom. Many of you may be there now, many of you may not be there. Regardless, you might be carrying that weight of your past, thinking you need to clean yourself up before God will accept you. And like I said, for me, it took that rock bottom moment to finally come to God and ask for help. But I want to share this verse with you. In 1 John chapter 1, verse 9, it reads, "If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness." This verse, I can only hope, will comfort those of you and help you understand that you can ask God for forgiveness at any point in your journey as long as you're willing to confess that you need him. You don't have to be like me and hit that rock bottom moment for it to click. And another important thing this verse is telling us is forgiveness isn't something we have to work for. It's already been paid for. It's a gift. It's a gift to us once we confess our sins to God, no matter how bad we think they might be. So we don't have to earn God's love. We don't have to be good enough before we can go to him. We don't need to make up for our past mistakes, because think of it like this: forgiveness, it's not a paycheck, it's a gift. Imagine at Christmas time, if you handed your child a gift and they said, wait, let me go clean my room, let me go wash the dishes or do my homework before I can accept this. Although that would be nice for us parents, we already spent the money and the time and put thought into purchasing this gift for our kids, and we're excited to give it to them, and we just want them to receive it. And this is exactly how God's forgiveness works. It's a gift he's already freely given to us. Jesus, he didn't wait for us to get our lives together before dying for us. And we're reminded in Romans chapter 5, verse 8, while we are still sinners, Christ died for us. That means at our worst, at humanity's worst, when humanity was unworthy, broken, and full of mistakes, God already made the way for us to be forgiven. So let's drive this home. You don't have to fix yourself first. You don't have to make up for lost time. You don't have to prove you deserve grace. You just have to accept the word and receive forgiveness. Does this mean that we can continue living however we want, in a sinful nature? No, but it means we stop believing the lie that we're too far gone or we've sinned too much for God to love us and forgive us. His grace is bigger than our worst mistakes. So you don't have to live in that guilt or shame anymore, because if God has forgiven you, you can stop holding on to what He's already erased. Because remember, forgiveness, when you truly forgive someone, you don't dangle their mistakes in front of their face. And God doesn't put shame or guilt in our hearts, only love. So you don't have to wait. You don't have to put it off until you feel worthy. Jesus already made you worthy. So humble yourself. Accept that you're weak and that you need strength from God. Ask Him for forgiveness. Ask Him for help. No matter what position you're in, accept His forgiveness. And when you accept it as a gift, watch how it will begin to transform you from the inside out. Thanks for watching.